So, as we already know, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has downloadable content for the game, with one DLC package already out, and it has been pretty fun so far. However, we do have a second DLC package on the way, and that is the Champions Ballad, and I am extremely excited to be able to play it. So when I was going through my video idea planning process thing, I thought, what do I actually want to see in the Champions Ballad? So yeah, today I'm going to be talking about what my hopes for the Champions Ballad are. Before I get into the video, I want to say another huge thank you to all of you, as it was only recently we reached 200 subscribers, and we are already getting close to 300, that's insane. I really appreciate it a lot. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. So, first of all, we need to know exactly what we are getting from the Champions Ballad, and we do know a little bit about it already. So, on Nintendo's website, it says we will see a new dungeon, an original story, and even more new challenges. Right there, Nintendo have gave us what the Champions Ballad will include to a basic standard. But what will be within these three main things? So I'll break this video down into 3 sections for each part that we're going to get, that Nintendo has already stated on their website, and just go over what I'm hoping to see within them. Alright, first of all, we have new challenges. Now, what exactly does this mean? Well, what I'm hoping that it means is that 1, we will see a bunch of new enemies. Now, don't get me wrong, Breath of the Wild alone has lots of great enemies and different variants of each enemy as well, which I think is pretty cool. But for the Champions Ballad to be a huge success in my opinion, I feel Nintendo will need to somehow bring in new enemies. A possible option for Nintendo could be to bring in enemies from past Zelda games, but redesigned, and that could tie in multiple ways with the new dungeon, depending on what it is, but I will be talking about that later in the video. Along with new enemies, I want to see more side quests within the game, and honestly this should not be too hard for Nintendo to do. There's a huge world for Nintendo to get creative with, which they've already done that, but there is still a lot of stuff they could do, and I just want to see some more side quests. And yes, there is already a lot, and I've not even finished them all yet, but if these new side quests somehow tied into the new story, or possibly leading up to the new dungeon, that would be pretty cool, and something that would please me with the Champions Ballad. Now, the last thing I want to see added in as new challenges is mini-games. Now, there is some mini-games in Breath of the Wild, such as the shield surfing down a snow-covered mountain, bowling with snow boulders, and a paraglider thing on Eventide Island. I suppose you could count the gambling game in Lurelin Village as well, if you want, but I don't really know if you could class it as a mini-game. But anyway, Zelda games often have quite a few fun mini-games within the world. For example, the Castletown Circus tent in Twilight Princess, as well as the ride down Zora River. There's also the shooting gallery, which appears within a few Zelda games, such as Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, A Link to the Past, and a few others. These minigames are pretty fun in my opinion, and the minigames in Breath of the Wild, to me, are still fun, but compared to all those other Zelda games, they just aren't that great to be honest. So I don't know how Nintendo could get this into Breath of the Wild, but who knows. If Castletown is perhaps rebuilt in a side quest, who knows what could be included with the town. Just imagine a side quest where you get to rebuild Castletown. Could be a future project for Hudson's construction team. That would be pretty epic in my opinion. Moving on to the second section, an original story. Now, we already know a little bit about this actually, this being that part of the Champions Ballad will be us finding out a lot more about Princess Zelda herself, and we found this out a little while ago now. So with that in mind, I would really hope that this new original story is, as well as finding out more about Zelda, that we, I guess you could say, rebuild Hyrule at the same time, with Zelda to travel all throughout Hyrule and slowly rebuild each location. And of course have different obstacles in your way, going from village to town to each location. And every time you move on to the next location, you find out a little bit more about Zelda. And with each location getting harder and harder as you progress, and then by the time you've pretty much rebuilt Hyrule, you end back up at Castletown, to then find out the big part of whatever Nintendo have in mind of telling us about Zelda. As in Breath of the Wild, we were not told much about her, and did not find out too much either, as the only real time we found out information about Zelda is in the memories, which did give us a good amount of information, but not enough, in my opinion anyway. Now, as I said for the new challenges, I want to see more side quests, and I would like them to tie into this original story, as well as the story go really in depth with things, and hopefully we will get a lot of new information about Zelda and more. So that's mostly what I want to see from the new original story part of the Champions Ballad. Now for the final part of the Champions Ballad, the new dungeon, the big part in my opinion. First of all, I think Nintendo really need to get this part good to make the Champions Ballad a huge success. Well, at least put a lot of time into it anyway. So first of all, we need to know what is actually going to be the dungeon. A more traditional dungeon, like every past Zelda game, or a Divine Beast dungeon. Me personally, I really hope we get a traditional dungeon, and I have touched on this in previous videos a bit, but I will be disappointed if we get to play through a Divine Beast again, unless it is completely rethought out and is a lot bigger, and with more to do within the dungeons, as I thought the Divine Beasts were fairly easy and a bit blank on the inside. The bosses were actually pretty good in my opinion, but the actual Divine Beasts themselves I was not a huge fan of. So let's say we do get a more traditional dungeon. What will it be? Will it be a forest, fire, water, wind, spirit, or whatever? Honestly, I don't know, as each type of dungeon would be a different idea itself. So I will say a wind dungeon, just because Breath of the Wild uses wind a lot, as you have a paraglider to travel, and a lot of shrines use wind as the mechanic for the shrine. Now, I don't have much to say about what I actually want to see within the dungeon, but I do hope we get some sort of new antagonist for this boss. This could be a completely new enemy out of nowhere, perhaps brought back from a previous game. I don't know how they could bring that into Breath of the Wild, but if it's possible I'd love to see it. It could even be the Yiga clan, or their new appointed leader, if they do appoint a new one, but as long as it's something new, I will be very happy. Before I finish off this final section, I did have one sort of idea that was a bit out there, but I thought I'd say it anyway, as if you know me, I love coming up with obscure and weird ideas for Zelda. So this idea was that somehow a portal or gate of some sort is opened within the ruined Temple of Time, and that we must enter it into the past or future, and within there we are presented with the new dungeon. Now I don't have much info going for this idea, but you know, it's just an idea, and I love coming up with strange, weird ideas sometimes, as you know, they do sometimes actually work out. So, I hope you all enjoyed this video. It was definitely a fun one to make and talk about. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like, and also feel free to comment what you want to see in the Champions Ballad, as I am interested to hear what all of you want to see within the new DLC. If you want to chat to me and other Zelda fans, along with share any video idea you want me to do, share pictures and art, share your own and others' videos, exchange friend codes, and much more, feel free to join my Discord server through the link in the description. Also, I post usually daily photos on my Instagram of some pretty cool stuff, so go follow me on there, along with Twitter for updates and more. Links for both of them will be in the description also. Well, that's it for this video. I hope to see you all in the next one, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.